Okay, are we rolling? Are we rolling? Are we rolling? Can y'all see me? Looks like it. Okay, so I wanted to do something like this because I think it would be kind of funny. Sorry, I'm just making sure everything's working right because everything seems kind of a little backwards. Whatever. Anywho, so my most recent video here, Socialism Superiority, continues to resonate throughout the world, which is currently the last video that I'm doing in my anti-Soviet myths series, just because there's other things I want to focus on. I uploaded it 3 days ago, and it has like 1,600 plus views, as you see here, and it has 284 comments. And I don't know what the hell happened, but for some reason this video just got like pushed into people's recommended. So many people pushing anti-communist, McCarthyist, false bullshit have just kind of come out of the woodworks and have just been throwing shit at me on this video. So I figure, you know, I'm kind of tired of just going and typing out all these different responses to people. Why don't I just, you know, actually look at some of these comments and just react to them live? Some of them I've already responded to, so, you know, we'll see. But, whatever, let's do it. Let me just double check again. Okay, OBS is still running. Cool. Alright, so this is one that I've already responded to. Russians were the master race within the Soviet Union, that's why they miss it. Try asking the peoples of the former Soviet republics if they want to go back. Ethnic Russians probably do to a great extent, but you'll be hard-pressed to find a significant proportion of ethnic Estonians, Latvians, Lithuanians, etc., who feel the same. And I mentioned right here, I've already linked some of these things, that there was a 2013 and a 2017 study done by Gallup and the Pew Research Center showing that shit like this is just false. There are plenty of populations in other former Soviet countries that are like, hey, we miss this shit. And matter of fact, you know what? Here's what I do. I always keep like, let me say that. I always keep like literally a list of sources and shit for all this other stuff. So let me find that section. Here's a 2022 thing from Harvard. The wake-up call for Soviet nostalgics. And in the first thing, it just shows, here's how many people say that like they miss it or that it was a bad thing. And it's not exclusively Russian, as we see. 66% of Armenians, 61% of people of Kyrgyz. If I'm pronouncing these wrong, my apologies. 56% of people from Tajikistanis. 42% of Moldavan people, and so many more. Like, this just shows that it's not purely a Russian thing. And people just want to say it's purely a Russian thing because they buy into Russophobic bullshit. And let me clarify something that I'm going to be looking at on some of these some of these other comments. I don't like Russia all that much. I don't like modern Russia all that much. People are telling me, oh, if you like socialism so much, go to Moscow. Russia's not fucking socialist. Hasn't been since 1991. Putin is not a socialist. He's had to nationalize some industry as a result of the Ukrainian war, and that's not a bad thing. Nationalization of industry isn't a bad thing, but it's not socialism. I made a video about this a handful of years ago showing different reasons why Putin is not a socialist. And granted, none of them like are economic reasons, but there's shit saying like, oh, he was in the KGB. That means he's still a communist. No. Fuck off with that. Alright, let's look at a few other ones. This one's stupid. Let's see. Again, fucking no one else from the Eastern Bloc does, especially Poland. And then I link the two things that I mentioned before. Let's see. This guy. Having experienced communism and fought against it in Africa, I can assure you it's nothing good for free people. Do you have anything showing that? No, you have 6 subscribers with a few playlists. No actual, you know, nothing that actually shows that you did this shit. And what What were you fighting against in Africa? Were you involved in shit like the death of Thomas Sankara? Were you involved in the death of Samara Michael? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Again, my apologies. Were you involved in the fucking assassination of Patrice Lumumba? What were you doing in Africa? What a garbage human being trying to try and claim any of this garbage is good. Motherfucker, your profile picture, this is a petty thing, but your profile picture is John Travolta in Pulp Fiction. Shut the fuck up. Let's see. Steve Tockler, what do you got? Socialism is slavery. If you want to own slaves, then you want socialism. If you don't want to be a slave, then you don't want socialism. Is that why chattel slavery literally helped build, like, capitalism in the South and the U.S. for fucking decades? God, man. I'm sorry to be, like, kind of petty and sarcastic on these, but it's just, like, I'm just returning the energy that I've gotten from some of this thing. Because I made a community post, and people are being like, yeah, you're fucking stupid. And it's like, being like, oh yeah, I know you're going to talk shit about these people. It's like, yeah, because you've been calling me like the R-word slur. You've been saying I'm an idiot, that I'm completely miseducated, that I'm inbred. So I'm just returning this bullshit energy back to you. You want to be assholes to me after most of my comments in response have been trying to be civil? Well, then fuck you. I'm doing this now. I don't want to be like reactionary or anything. I'm still trying to at least present this stuff with more of a semi-level head. But this is just me kind of going off the cuff and trying to have fun. Oh, Jesus Christ. This fucking guy. Let's look at this thread here. Somebody said, asking the Germans if they want to have National Socialism also gets great numbers. Not because it's a good system, but because they won with it. They didn't win with it. The fucking Third Reich lasted literally less than the fucking amount of time The Simpsons have been on TV. It's lasted less than the time that Family Guy has been on TV. Like, so what the fuck are you talking about? Asking the Russians if they would want a czar, not even spelled right, if it meant that Russia would be great again and have power in the world, does not prove anything. And here we have somebody actually being level-headed. Let's see. Source, yes, I would like a source about that with the National Socialism. Yeah, because there is a weird, like, alt-right Nazi problem still in Germany, but they've also at least made the efforts to, make just doing Nazi salutes and having fucking Nazi flags flying outside of your house illegal and shit like that. They don't glorify it. Let's see. Why would the average citizen care about a loose concept like the strength of a nation more than the well-being of the people? I hate to tell you, but Cubans don't love Fidel just because he overthrew a few people. He brought hospitals to places where many would die from the travel to the city for medical care, and he raised their literacy rate to 99%. Yes! Thank you, brother! I have this plan for a video series where I literally just do, like, it's going to be just list videos, but I'm just going to be saying, like, I'm going to be listing actual achievements of actually existing socialism and countries that are at least trying to achieve socialism, like Bolivia and Venezuela. I'm going to actually be looking at their achievements and making videos highlighting those. And this is a very good point to bring up. Alright, similarly, Germans do not miss the Nazis, though I expect many to at least recognize the good he did for their military power and highways in a time when the Germans felt betrayed by their old government and desperate for a victory. Though this is completely different than actually calling for the reinstatement of a Nazi rule. There were many economic decisions like privatization, which the term was invented for the practice that Nazis did to Germany, which caused a lot of negative effects for the German working people. Again, this is something other people have brought up in this fucking, in the comments, and I've been like, dude, Nazis aren't socialist. I have 2 videos that literally debunk the Nazis being socialist. One is better than the other because the more recent one from a few years ago is based on a lot more academic sources. But still, I have 2 different videos that show, like, hey, these claims are all wrong. And this fucking guy has been, you can tell he's just some, like, libertarian. How much do you donate to charity? Just curious if you put your money where, wrong form of where, your mouth is. Oh, that's right. Leftists have no morals. Charity half the time doesn't solve shit, though. I could literally give my entire bank account to charity, and you know what? There would still be very little change happening as a result of that charity, because it's not an actual structural solution. It doesn't fix things at the root of the problem. It's just throwing a fucking band-aid on a gunshot wound. So, and even then, what the fuck kind of point is this? How much money do you donate to charity? It's kind of hard for a lot of people to donate to charity because, you know, wages have been stagnant. Cost of living keeps going up. Some people, their insurance premium goes up every fucking year, making it harder and harder to even afford to go to the doctor or get, like, necessary medication that they need. It's stupid. Let me check if there's been any comments. Nothing so far. That's fine. And let's see. Leftists have no morals. Brother, your idea of morality is not letting, like, gay kids play soccer or some dumb shit like that. Nazis and commies are the same thing to me. Evil and twins, they are the same. We normal people hate you both. Big H. What? Big H? What? Okay, and even then, this whole Nazis and commies are the same thing is just horseshoe theory bullshit that's been disproven several times over. Like, people will say, like, oh, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact means that Hitler and Stalin were best friends. No, motherfucker. No. You know what? Let's take a visit back to the sources. Where is that? Where is World War II? I know I have that. Let's see. That's... Fix that. So we have this from Telegraph. Stalin was literally going to send millions of troops to stop Hitler if Britain and France had actually agreed to, like, work with him. But they were like, no, dirty commie. We could have easily... Okay, bullshit, free trial, whatever. But we could have very easily avoided or even prolonged delayed World War II from happening if they actually agreed to work with Stalin. This is just one example of, like, yeah, no, they weren't friends. They didn't like each other. Communists vehemently hate Nazis. Ask any actual communist who's not like a fucking Nazbol or something, and they will say, fuck Nazis. Let's see. Let's go to a few more things. I'm not going to be doing this for super long. How long have I been doing this? 12 minutes. All right, well, I'll do it for a little while. Even if you don't know you are wrong, I do. You don't have a clue, my friend. This is me kind of being petty and flexing, but it's like random guy on YouTube versus 8 years of studying history, informally and formally, a bachelor's degree in history, and several sources to back up my claims. That's the thing. I love some of these ones where it's just like saying, you're wrong, but I'm not going to make any actual claims or cite anything to prove why you are wrong. I've been getting a lot of that on this video, too. This is just some guy saying, you know, the bullshit things that have been debunked by people like the Finnish Bolshevik, like Hakim, I think, like, by second thought. There are plenty of people who have proven that this is just false. The shit about, like, basic economics destroy socialism. No, it doesn't. You're just set in your ways in what you believe is actual economics. You think capitalism is the only viable form because you haven't actually looked deeply into anything else. Oh, this fucking thing. Socialism cannot work for anything larger than a small community. When it is applied to a nation, it invariably concentrates power into a tiny minority. That's a big falsehood. That's ignoring the socialism provides no incentive for production. Again, something that's been debunked. And me just being cheeky. No, you. And him. I didn't say you were stupid, though the argument could be made. Okay, then here you are saying I'm fucking stupid, you fucking asshole. Your infantile response does explain a lot. You're not really a thinker, huh? Look at any of my other videos, dude. Look at all these other fucking threads that I've been commenting on. Just because I didn't have the energy to tell you exactly why you're fucking wrong doesn't mean I don't know why. I can bring up how many fucking sources that show this is wrong. Look at the 5-year plans in terms of, like, no incentive for production. The Soviet Union was the only country, if not one of few countries, not affected by the Great Depression and the giant fucking global crash. What does that say? Huh? What does that say about no incentive for production? Let's see. No surprise considering the terrible state of Western education systems. Yeah, they feed you lies all the time. 100 million. I've seen the bullshit about the 100 million dead, and maybe we'll find it, maybe we won't, but there was some comment that said, oh, 27 million in the Soviet Union, that's bad. 27 million is the amount of fucking, like, people in the Soviet Union. I can't remember if it's only soldiers or if it's a mix of soldiers and, like, casualties from, like, Nazi and other attacks. But 27 million is the amount killed in World War II. Using that as a number, as an example, is kind of facetious and kind of fucking dumb. Let's see. I know there's some of these have been a little more level-headed. Like this one. This one is interesting. I would need to look into this because I've never heard of the Zastoyshiki, but this is an interesting one to look into, you know? And he didn't provide any statistics and said that he's an ex-Russian, whatever that means. But I don't know, this one is at least level-headed and doesn't be like, you know, oh, you stupid fucking commie, kill yourself or any stupid shit like that. If you like socialism so much, move to North Korea or China, have fun, or look into crimes of USSR against Baltics. Provide me with a source, man. This guy actually provided me with a source one time about something involving Latvia. But again, the source that he linked, their only citations within that source were for encyclopedia.com, so I'm still a little weary of it on whether or not it's like the most true. But I can appreciate that unlike so many others, he actually at least tried to provide me with a fucking citation. You ask for $1. This refers to the fact that I took 15 seconds to mention in this video, hey, guess what? If you'd like to support me in a way besides liking and subscribing, I have a Buy Me a Coffee. You don't have to do anything, though. You don't have to donate to it. I'm happy to make these videos without getting any fucking money for it. This is just out there if you want to. And people are acting like I'm like a grifter and I'm like a greedy, hungry capitalist for this shit. What are you talking about? You ask for $1? Why not a Soviet ruble or the current ruble? Ha ha, laughing emoji. Let's see. What did I say? Why not ask for the currency of a country I don't even live in? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, they think they're so clever with this shit, dude. Like, no, yeah, I'm gonna ask for the currency of a country I don't live in. What use would that be for me, even if I fucking ask for it? We have a few people saying, you know, like, oh, I used to live in the Soviet Union or whatever. There's no difference between slavery and communism. There's a very big difference, but whatever, man. It's the easiest to... Anyone who falls for such an obvious scam obviously doesn't have a working brain. It's the easiest IQ test in the world. Do you like... Yes, do I like a system designed to benefit the working class? Wow, that makes me stupid. That's the equivalent of saying you believe in fucking Santa. Merry Christmas. No comments. Let's see a few things. What about Nazism again? I literally debunked this. This guy is one who actually called me like the R word. Nazism is nowhere near capitalism. Of course, it does have a capitalistic economy because anywhere that isn't a communist, socialist shithole uses currency. They use currency in the Soviet Union. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is not... What is a ruble? That's currency. Dude. Few people actually came in and, you know, were fucking smart. Let's see. Only the name was socialist. Yes, thank you, Stone Rubber. And then I linked my video explaining it. And this guy, again, it has socialism in the name, but really it's capitalist. But that doesn't change the fact that this dude is dumb as hell. You are literally agreeing with some of the shit that I am saying, and then you're calling me stupid. What are you, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? Let's see. Put the crack pipe down. You can't even spell crack right. But no, yeah, I smoke crack. No, I don't read all the fucking time. I haven't been studying this shit both as a hobby and as like an actual career choice for fucking years. Never mind. Stalin, what's this guy say? 7 fingers, 3 toes. Stalin isn't a real communist, but that flag is too hype, so I'm still gonna glorify him. I'm not a Trotskyist. I'm not an anarchist. Stalin was a communist. There's no fucking doubt about that. The only people who deny that are the people who try to conflate fascism with communism, Trotskyists, and anarchists. Who the... Jesus fucking Christ. Daggum, if you like socialist communism so much, why don't you join the armies of convicts in Putin's meat waves? Again, Putin, not a socialist. Modern Russia, not socialist. And then he says, that's right, I meant fascist. Motherfucker, I hate some of these people, I swear to God. Thank you. 57% of Georgians view Stalin favorably. Yes, thank you. I love that fucking... Says a lot about those Georgians. Stalin was a murderous monster. Wait, that's just a nice way to just demonize an entire group of, like, Eastern European people, man. You're literally demonizing more than... not necessarily half of the country, but at least half of the people fucking polled, which I don't know how many people that was. I don't necessarily know which one, which study this guy is talking about. But still... That's some, like, Eastern European, like, fucking nativist, xenophobic bullshit right there. Just playing into these weird, like, anti-Eastern, pro-Western bullshit. And then what percent of those he had killed were interviewed? How are you going to interview dead people, dumb fuck? How are you going to fucking interview dead people? Jesus fucking Christ. See, yeah, this guy was all over this video. The best way to get people to reject socialism is to have them speak to anyone who actually lived under socialism. This is something that I had to point out. Yes, some people living under socialism had some, not great experiences. But you know what? There are also plenty of people who had good experiences living under socialism. I provide all these fucking examples both in the video description, in past videos, in the comments of this video, and they just don't fucking understand that. I do not get it. Like, the cognitive dissonance is so fucking insane. I have never met anyone from North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, China, Vietnam, or Cambodia. I doubt you've met anybody from any of those places, brother. You're just talking about, like, the Gusanos and the Merielitos, the fucking defectors that get paid thousands of dollars from South Korea and the U.S. to lie about North Korea. Like, what are you talking about? Vietnam, Luna Oi, Vietnamese YouTuber living in Vietnam, showing you how the fuck socialism in Vietnam actually works. For fuck's sake. Cambodia was not actually socialist until like 1979. Pol Pot was a fucking psyop motherfucker propped up by like the CIA and or, what's the word I'm looking for? Galvanized into power because of the clandestine bombing that happened in Cambodia thanks to Henry Kissinger, which, thank Christ, he's fucking dead. Let's see. So I talk about that too, yeah. Let's see. In Venezuela, you have to wait 4 hours twice a week to buy flour and eggs. No source. No source. And then again, I bring up, yes, so these sanctions and embargoes, and I forgot to mention, literal fucking coup attempts that have happened in Venezuela. All these outside sources trying to just attack them has nothing to do with it. Yes, yes, Venezuela has had the mistake of trying to rely more so on their oil exports and shit than they should have. And things like enacting a cryptocurrency aren't the best way to go about things to fix it. But so much of this shit about Venezuela being like just a giant hellhole, despite all the actual advances that they have made in pursuit of socialism, people just ignore that shit and they'll just believe what they're told on when they watch fucking Gutfeld on Fox News or some other, or more likely, depending on the age of these people, you know, they're seeing like Turning Point USA, PragerU. This guy right here tried to cite a PragerU video against me, and it's like, yeah, the propaganda outlet funded by fracking billionaires is really going to provide me with an accurate description of what socialism is. Fuck off. Let's see, North Korea was extremely wealthy during the first half of the Cold War. South Korea was very poor. Again, sanctions. Fucking sanctions. And this also completely ignores the fact that when the Soviet Union fell, North Korea lost their biggest fucking trading partner. If South Korea lost the U.S. as a trading partner, they would be fucked too. They would be in a precarious situation. I don't know how the fuck you can't make that connection. It's fucking stupid. Let's look at a few more. You clearly don't know crap about crap. And what is he linking? What is he? That's thing. I haven't paid a lot of these because there's way too fucking many. And half the time I don't get notifications about these. What did he link here? Let's see. What is it? Yay, the Babylon Bee. You're linking the fucking Babylon Bee. Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, they're supposed to be a fucking satire site. They suck. They're not funny, but this is a satire site. This is like right-wing fucking Onion. Where is the point here? It's supposed to be some kind of gotcha moment? What else did he link? He linked it twice. He just linked it fucking twice. Fuck off with that. Look, genius. From Sinister Night, 9696. Yeah. Look, genius. And people wonder why I decided to be a condescending asshole in some of this stuff. And it's because you're all being condescending assholes towards me. Sorry for these random pauses. I'm just like reading this shit and just being like, what are you fucking talking about? Again, this whole thing about me. Socialists are great though. Drop some dollars to me because I beg for money because a socialist core. I don't fucking understand it. I don't get it. I'm from Moldova, ex-Soviet occupied country. No. Okay, well, I just brought up a thing that shows, like, that nearly half of the people who were surveyed in Moldova say, like, the Soviet Union was better and they would want it back, and that it's a bad thing that it was fucking dissolved. Good for you that you're one of the people who don't like it, but you're just ignoring any other experience that isn't your own or only focusing on the ones that, like, are used as propaganda pieces against Soviet history and shit. It's dishonest. It's ahistorical and dishonest. Bro, you are sticking up for Russia by using its worst time in its history. I think the worst time was when they were under fucking Tsarism. Current time isn't great either, but when they were under like actual Tsarism, under like Nicholas II and shit like that, I think that was pretty fucking bad too. Let's see. Gulags were mostly in -0 conditions without 3 square meals. I linked 3 different things about the Gulag in this fucking comment thread that show this is wrong. I will bring some of these up. Where is the Gulag section? It's funny that I have that. Here, chances of being Gulag. CIA report that shows it was a lot fucking different than U.S. prisons. And there are others, but there's also one by Arch Getty. Check these fuckers out. Check out this article from Pavel Krasnov. What were the chances to be sent to the Gulag? I thought I put in the, I gotta put this in the Wayback Machine, but I thought I saved that. But if I put this in the Wayback Machine, it'll show you the actual thing. And victims of the Soviet penal system in the pre-war years, a first approach on the basis of archival evidence. With Arch Getty, who is not a communist, but has been a lot more honest about the Soviet Union and shit like this than a lot of other actual anti-communist scholars. So let's see. Unlike those air-conditioned prisons in America that dole out 3 square meals and visits by the family members, you don't know shit. How good are those meals, though? Have you not seen prison food? A lot of it is literally just like stale bread and the cheapest, thinnest fucking soup. Air-conditioned prisons, my fucking ass. I'm sure there are some that actually let the prisoners have air conditioning, but there are also plenty of reports of, you know, fucking being stuck in boiling heat, overcrowding, being thrown into solitary confinement for fucking nothing. The U.S. prison system is genuinely more fucked up than the Soviet Gulag system, and there are various statistics and historical reports to show that that is true. What did I say? Oh, he also said, if you are doing this to stick up for Russia over their war, you are doing it in the wrong way. What sense does that make? Why would I be defending Soviet Russia and the Soviet Union as a whole from like the 40s, the 30s, the 20s, the 50s, whatever? Why would I be defending them from 60, 70, 80, 90 years ago to defend current Russia? What does that have to do with the fucking Ukrainian war? Dude, 30 years after they stopped utilizing socialism, how does that make sense? And he also goes on about like saying like, you know, just say you want less freedoms. No, I want more freedoms. I want to not have to fucking work every waking hour. I want other people to not have to work every fucking waking hour and choose between eating or having a fucking place to stay or having the lights on or paying for their medication. And then he quotes Einstein at me. It's like, dude, he just quoted an actual socialist. For fuck's sake. Oh, god damn it. Just the same shit about starvation, you know, they return to capitalism, even though, you know, all those revolutions, quote unquote, that happened in 1989, a lot of them were, there was dissent, yes, that was like natural, but there was also a lot of influence from Western powers and a lot of fucking infiltration and bullshit like that. Socialism has killed more of their own people than fanatical Islam. Okay, so you're also you're also like a weird like anti-Islam person. Good for you, fucking idiot. Socialism is superior. Now donate money to me. Go fuck yourself. Dude, okay. You can critique capitalism while also being forced to participate in it. You're aware of that, right? I can't just drop off the fucking face of the earth and like go live in a random commune in like San Francisco. I capitalism, this shit with how my fucking life is and all these different debts, I literally fucking can't. A lot of people literally fucking can't. You gotta do what you gotta do. You've gotta survive under fucking capitalism. Like, so, if I was making this video without saying that, would I still be like a fucking grifting hypocrite because I work a regular 9-to-5 job, but I still critique capitalism and say that socialism is better? The fuck does that mean? I say here, don't know how briefly asking people to donate $1 if they feel like it. I'm not even demanding or begging. Again, I completely leave it up to them. It's literally just mentioned in passing. I don't know how that negates the actual historical achievements of socialism, but go off. And then this with no fucking relevancy. Like this. You are a grifting capitalist trying to overthrow the system that has lifted more people out of poverty than any system ever devised by humans, in favor of the one that has killed more people than any system ever developed by humans. You persist for one of 3 reasons: delusion, ignorance, or you are just evil. What are you talking about, my brother? My brother in Christ. So I'm a capitalist trying to overthrow the capitalists. What sense does that fucking make? I know there are grifters who will do this shit, like Jackson Hinkle and some other people. But literally having a buy me a coffee that has only been contributed to 3 times in the amount of time that I've had it, that makes me a grifter. Wanting to make videos as a hobby, and if maybe I can make like, I don't know, 20-30 bucks a month to help pay for like my phone bill, that makes me a grifter. No, I'm not doing this just because I want to make fucking money. I'm doing this to educate people because I enjoy doing it, and making money, if I would at all, is a completely secondary reason. It's not the main reason I want to do any of this shit. This fucking talking about morality, BLM, Antifa. Yeah, keep throwing up those same fucking platitudes. Keep throwing them up. Socialism equals Hassan Piker laughing at women slowly dying and at blue-collar workers. Hassan is lame. He's fucking lame. Literally only like DSA people like Hassan. He's had some alright takes here and there, but literally the only people who fucking actually like Hassan are people who are in like the DSA or Social Democrats. Let's see, what's here? Historical achievements, yes, there are some. The extinction's about 20 million Soviet inhabitants. Jesus fucking Christ. Winter War on Finland. I'm pretty sure Finnish Bolshevik has a video about that. Ribbentrop-Molotov Pact to enslave Poland. It was not to fucking enslave Poland. Dude. Fuck. Again, none of these things that are actually fucking cited. Are you a complete moron, man? No, because I actually back my shit up with, sources. I look at this shit historically and try to look at the actual material facts. They bitterly failed in their Afghanistan war of 10 years, which finally tore the system apart. So the U.S. failing in their Afghanistan war is completely okay, though, right? That means capitalism it's not an L for capitalism that the U.S. Afghanistan war was a complete fucking train wreck. That means nothing. As the communists in China managed to outpace their Russian counterparts in terms of people killed in their own country, invaded Tibet, and a number of other wars fought. Dude. Tibet was a fucking slave state. Okay? They literally prevented a fucking slave state from continuing. You're just buying into all these stupid fucking Western narratives. I don't get it. I really don't. There was a chance of around 20% to end up in the mass grave. Cite some sources, goddammit. Jesus. This guy is so weird talking about, like, this guy, this B-ish Tikyon, whatever the fuck your name is. Saying shit like, why do you want to force me to do this? Why do you want to step on my fucking flag? Or some dumb shit like that. I don't want to join your cult. Stop knocking on my door. Like, talking about like how we're fucking Jehovah's Witnesses or some shit. Nobody is forcing you to do shit, my friend. Nobody is forcing you to do a fucking thing. You want to keep spewing all these fucking fallacies and all these just complete falsehoods. You do that. You do that, man. Have fun with it. Keep it up. But I swear to fucking God, this libertarian overemphasis on individuality, or rather individualism, because individuality, you know, you still have your own personality and shit living under socialism. They don't say everybody's gotta like fucking Guns N' Roses or whatever. That's a dumb example. But regardless, nobody's saying everybody has to like a certain thing. Everybody has to fucking listen to the same music, whatever. Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Your weird hyperfixation on individualism with no regard for like how this shit has actually made people's lives better just shows that you yourself are more so not a good person. Explains why all those millions of immigrants fleeing from socialism are coming through our southern border. Dude, again, I had to bring this up. Do you not realize that a majority of immigrants coming from like Latin America, South America are leaving because of conditions created by the U.S. propping up like right-wing governments, using economic sanctions and embargoes and blockades and all this other kind of shits? Like, this stuff doesn't happen in a vacuum. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you saying like, okay, let's take Cuba for example. They've been under blockade literally since they declared themselves an actual like socialist country. You think that's not gonna fuck some shit up and make some people want to leave? It's not the fault of socialism. It's the fault of actively trying to sabotage these fucking countries, trying to do something outside of the Western capitalist hegemony. I bet you deny the Holocaust too. This is... I had to reply to this, and I said, whoosh, what a fucking leap that is. Because it's a giant fucking leap. Wow, I'm trying to highlight that socialism isn't as bad as the fucking school system and your fucking Fox News and even a lot of liberal media like NBC and shit will say it is. I'm a Holocaust denier for that, apparently. I love fucking Hitler, even though I fucking hate Hitler. Communists hate Hitler. Communists hate Nazis. Nazis are quite literally the mortal fucking enemy of communists. It was the communists who defeated fucking Hitler and Nazi Germany in World War II. It's these giant fucking leaps people take, I swear to God. And then this guy who's agreed with me on some shit and then still tried to say I'm stupid. That is a leap, but socialism is fucking R-word. And you couldn't even spell the slur you're using right, brother. Calm down. Seriously, if you're gonna call people, like, stupid, at least show a modicum of, like, writing comprehension and competency in that kind of thing. Let's see what else. Let's survey those millions of people who starved in those artificial famines created by socialists. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, well, how about we survey every single person in Africa that was killed by, you know, fucking white supremacist colonialism. Let's survey the people who were killed in the Move bombing in 1985. Let's survey Fred Hampton, who was killed by the fucking FBI. Let's survey Martin Luther King, who was killed by the fucking FBI. Can make these same fucking arguments. Anti-capitalist thought pushed by young Starbucks coffee drinking morons. Cool. They drink Starbucks coffee. That makes them dumb. And even then, a lot of people aren't drinking Starbucks anymore because they're pro-Israel. Or at the very least, they haven't actually spoken on this shit and are still doing business with people that are pro-Israel. So, no. That falls flat. That's a moot point. I'm sure we could go through how long have I been doing this? Like 45 minutes or something like that. Let's look at a couple more maybe, and then just I'll call it a night. Oh, we can see more of this guy. Leave me alone. You go be happy, saying like, you know, oh, go leave. You can immigrate. Go to China. Go to Cuba. Where? Get your hands off me. Like, he's so dramatic about this shit. You can tell he's like one of those libertarians that like beats off to Ron DeSantis or Trump or some shit. And I literally say, wah, you're hypothetically forcing me to do stuff. In hypotheticals that he is literally creating. So, like, he's creating his own fucking problems in this shit and making his own fucking fears up. He's so fucking weird. Hands off our democratic republic. Dude, the U.S. is a goddamn plutocracy. It's an autocratic plutocracy. You have literally two political parties that have the exact same end goal. What democracy is there? What is there in this fucking country? Being able to vote every 2 to 4 years for the two, like I said, the two parties that are literally just same sides of the same coin, two wings on the same bird, it's not democracy. It's bullshit. It's fucking plutocracy. That's all it is. Seven Fingers is back. We aren't forcing you. We just claim to be true communists while banning your guns, going against Marx's teachings and World War II your ass like other countries that banned guns that time. Communists don't want to ban guns and gun control. They actively armed the fucking working class. Literally, we're not liberals. We're not fucking liberals who think that just putting more, like, restrictions on buying a gun at Walmart will solve everything. We actually have material analysis of this shit. Historical analysis. All these are just bullshit assumptions based on, like, some weird understanding that, like, Joe Biden is a fucking Marxist or some shit like that. It's insane. None of these arguments are rooted in fucking reality. Like, all right. My voice is getting a little strained because I've been getting kind of heated in this just because I've been dealing with this shit for like 3 days, responding to all these people and putting so much energy into this shit. Just, Christ. One more of this. The Union of Soviet Socialist Republics was so supreme in comparison to the democratic free market capitalist West that it supremed itself into non-existence by 1991 due to McDonald's and color TV. There was color TV in the fucking like 60s in the Soviet Union. I'm pretty damn sure. So I don't know what the fuck that means. Again, I point out, economic shock therapy never happened. There were never any illegal interferences in elections that would keep the fucking Communist Party from getting back into power. Glasnost and Perestroika didn't fuck shit up, and none of that ever happened. What's this guy saying? Excuse me, I almost just burped. That would be gross. Russians like Stalin because he conquered all their enemies and made half of Europe their puppets. No, they like Stalin because, his policies created actual fucking economic prosperity, guaranteed people jobs and houses and healthcare, and a lot of other things. Education. There's a lot more reasons why people like Stalin and Soviet Union socialism in general, not just Stalin, but living in just under the socialist system in general, outside of these weird, power tripping things. Ask anybody. Ask one of these people in these fucking polls that show that there are actually people who miss and want the socialist system back. Do you like it because Europe was made into a giant puppet? What are they gonna fucking say? No. These are all just assumptions, and it's so fucking stupid. If socialism works when there isn't outside interference, then it is too weak of a system to deserve to last. By 1950s, communism ruled over half the... What? It's funny how he says that when there haven't been any actual, outside interferences against capitalism, so how do we fucking know that it's not too weak of a system to deserve to last? Never seen anybody, try to fucking implement, to try to push, people who are more, ultra left wing. And I don't mean ultra left in the sense that Marxists understand ultra left. I mean, ultra left as like liberals understand it, like Marxists. When the fuck has an actual Marxist gotten into political power outside of maybe being like the mayor or being on a school board or a fucking town, like a, what's the town government called? Not the mayor. City council. When has that happened? Because, you know, there were a lot of people being forcefully installed in these fucking different countries. Doesn't really say anything about that. By 1950s, communism ruled over half the world's population, and by the time the 70s came around, it held influence over, if not control over, a majority of the resources of the world. Socialist Africa. Yes, the entire continent of Africa was socialist. Can you name some actual ones? I can. Burkina Faso, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, if you can argue Zimbabwe because of Mugabe. I don't know a lot about Robert Mugabe, but he was considered like a Marxist-Leninist government. Libya, if you argue that Gaddafi is a socialist. And how many of those are involved in the Soviet Union? I can't really say myself, but this is a moot point. Like, fucking what? Yeah, how many of these were... No citations, no sources given to show how these were actually involved with, like, the Soviet Union. It is visible from space. I'm sure he's referring to those, like, fucking... satellite images that show like, oh, there are less lights in North Korea than in the South. And there's a video of a professor completely debunking that. Let's see. The only places that do well under socialism are places that open up to capitalism and allow a more mixed economy, like the Nordics. The Nordics aren't so... Fucking Sweden and Scandinavia are not socialist. They are social democratic. They are social democracies that are still capitalist at their core. They just have a slightly better safety net welfare system. And even then, a lot of austerity measures have been being implemented, and that's kind of undermining all of these social democratic policies. So that's moot. Vietnam and China still ultimately use communism, or rather socialism and Marxism, as their core ideals. And even then, motherfucker, Cuba only has like the most minute amount of like private property, and they're doing fucking amazing with some of like the best healthcare in the world, guaranteed housing, making huge advances in their region of the world in like LGBTQ plus enfranchisement. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, brother. Communism held back the progress of civilization. No, motherfucker, the space race. I can just say that, the space race. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, brother. Socialism fails unless it's the only system in the world, whereas capitalism surpasses even when the rest of the world is against it. It's oversimplification for certain, but so is the title of the video. Yes, I made a 4.5-minute video with some examples about how, like, socialism is still seen as the better society by a lot of people, and how it's becoming more apparent to younger people that, like, at least being critical of capitalism is a good thing. And, like, motherfucker, how many times have there been socialist revolutions that have been thwarted, sabotaged, fucking mercilessly attacked by Western capitalist powers? All of your points are fucking moot, and they're incomplete. Scam called Marxism. Shut the fuck up. I swear to God. I'm just tired of this, man. I am, like, so tired of some of this shit. I spent the last 3 days, like, reacting and responding to these comments. I'm just tired. I have all these sources that I listed here. I've posted several sources in the comments. But, you know, nobody will actually fucking listen. They're just stuck in their ways about, you know, how communism is bad, and no matter what anybody else says, no matter what actual facts are provided, historical, philosophical, economic, just ignore them because you want to still be pulled into this Cold Warrior McCarthyist bullshit. Excuse me. And it's getting old. It's getting real old. We're in a new Cold War against China. You know, that's one more thing I could talk about. This guy said that there was no actual, like, information hegemony under the thumb of capitalism. If that's so, then why are there so many fucking reports from both liberal and conservative media saying China bad, we gotta fight China? Why are they fucking so adamant on making Ukraine look like the victims when they are literally propping up Nazis? Did we not just see Canada fucking applaud a fucking Ukrainian Nazi, I think, what, a month or two ago? Maybe a little longer than that, maybe a little less than that. But still, it happened in recent memory. There is definitely an information hegemony under the thumb of capitalism. I was a substitute teacher for 2 years, and I can tell you, anytime that I subbed that actually talked about this stuff, they either A, glossed over it barely, or B, just found a way to say, yep, socialism bad. Fuck them. My apologies. I'm just getting a headache from this shit. But yeah. So this video just randomly blew up, quote unquote, in some form or another. So I figured, screw it. Let's do a live reaction to some of these comments. I know, let me see. I know there's only been like one person watching here and there, and like 8 views in total, which is fine. I didn't really announce this. This is kind of an impromptu thing I wanted to do. But yeah. This is insane. A lot of these people are genuinely insane and are ignoring actual like facts and statistics and historical information. And they're free to do that. But I'm free to keep spreading the word of, the actual facts of people wanting socialism back and seeing capitalism as an inherently flawed system that's working as it should, but it's flawed in regards as to, providing people with basic necessities that are, needed to live, that are within like the hierarchy of human needs. So I'm just going to keep doing that. And you know what? Whatever, brother. Whatever. Communism's going to win. Reality is Marxist. That's all I can really fucking say. Anywho, I've been going at this for about an hour. My voice is getting a little hoarse. So I am going to get off, have some dinner, and maybe later tonight or sometime tomorrow after my voice has recovered a bit, I'm going to record an actual video. So for those of you who have been watching and those of you who might watch in the future, thank you for watching. My name is Jymee. I'm just reviewing a few things. But my name is Jymee. Thank you for watching. And if you want to check out the video that I'm talking about, I'll put the link in the description as well. And if you want to, get a word in against some of these people saying all this fucking thoroughly already debunked bullshit, but you want to have some fun, be my guest. All right. Have a good night, everybody.